Hello, and welcome to today's Pick a Card reading. Today's Pick a Card reading is based around what does the future hold? What is next in your journey? Piles 1, 2, and 3. Pile 1 consists of the throat chakra, Pile 2, the heart chakra stone, and Pile 3, the crown chakra stone. Please take a moment, big deep breath in, and choose your pile. Timestamps can be found in the description box below.
Hi Group 1, welcome to your reading. So our question today is what's next? So this could be what's next in your career, what's next in your love life, what's next in your sort of thought processes around the future and whether it be family, babies, marriage, wherever you may be heading in life. We're going to draw a few cards today just to have a look at any sort of signs to indicate to us what may be next in your journey. So let's get started. This is for group number 1, spirits. What's next in their journey, whatever it may be? What sort of signs or indications can you give us in regards to what's coming up in their journey, please and thank you. This is for group 1, spirits, please and thank you. What's next in group 1's journey? What's happening next in their life journey? Plans, future plans, families, marriages, pregnancies, anything like that. Right. So we've got the Two of Pentacles, Ace of Wands and Temperance card. So the Two of Pentacles usually indicates that there's going to be something that you're going to have to balance. So it may be a work-life situation, even work-family sort of situation that you're going to need to balance out, relationship, family type situation, which we tend to do in our everyday lives anyway, having to balance and juggle everything. But the Ace of Wands is quite prosperous, so it's sort of giving you guidance in saying that everything's going to be alright. So you may have a bit of this balancing, but I mean, you've got the Temperance card as well, which indicates that although you might have to sort of juggle a few things, the Temperance card usually indicates that you are able to do that with quite a clear mind. So you know, as long as you're sort of well organized and everything like that, the Temperance is very good at sort of being able to do the juggling act basically. The Ace of Wands also indicates some creativity, some just really success and everything in what you'll be moving forward with. And Temperance can also indicate a sense of moderation is key basically. So as long as you keep in mind sort of the personal life, relationship, or work life, personal life balance, and keep it all in moderation. Don't stress yourself out too much, and everything, and your creativity and abundance will flow. So I've got a little bit more clarification on whether this may be to do with career, family relationship, anything like that. So can I get a bit more clarification for group 1, the throat chakra, please? And thank you, Spirit Guides, and what it is they're having to balance out, what they'll be needing to sort of concentrate on. And so we've got the 8 of Swords and the 8 again with the Strength card. When I pulled the 8 of Swords, I sort of felt right away that it may have been a balance in your emotional state. Basically, I feel like that you could be sort of doing a fair bit of juggling and everything for everyone else, but not really having any time for yourself, and sort of needing to sort of be the manager at work, or the head of the household, the mother or father figure, and the person who keeps the home together. All of this sort of responsibility, and not really sort of having the time for you to be able to express your own creativity. I'll get a little more clarification. So for group 1, throat chakra, what is the balancing in relation to? What's anything else you can tell me? Please and thank you. So, you have the 7 of Pentacles, and then the most beautiful 10 of Cups. Now, what I'm feeling from this is that as long as you can sort of have the strength and everything going forward to be able to have the moderation and being able to sort of keep the family together, to keep the job going and everything, as well as taking some time for yourself, because you are currently sowing the seeds for beautiful future. So the 10 of Cups is one of the most sought after cards for obvious reasons. I mean, it's just stunning. You've got your family there joyously playing in prosperity. They are harmonious, and they're very humble with life as it is. And so I feel like that you may be doing a bit of balancing either now or sort of towards the future, but as long as you sort of moderate it and you make sure that you are still getting your time for yourself and for your own sort of mental health and everything, that you are definitely sowing the seeds for a beautiful, prosperous future. This could also mean that you could be doing quite a few things around at the moment. This 10 of Cups usually represents also family as well. So you may be juggling a few things and maybe trying to sort of like sow the seeds to start your family if you haven't already. And you may be feeling a bit sort of unsuccessful at the moment with it. But it's just telling you, moderation. It will happen when it's supposed to happen. Continue, have strength and everything, because you will get your 10 of Cups. So that's a lovely one. Is there anything else you can tell the spirits. Good one. Just keep looking at this one. So again, what I was saying, we've got the Five of Cups there, and again what I was saying, how I think you may be feeling as though that things aren't sort of going the way that you wanted them to, because I mean you have the Five of Cups. You know, the Five of Cups usually represents he's a bit sort of saddened by the fact that 3 of his cups have spilled, but then he's blinded to the fact, which you also see in the Eight of Swords. She's blinded at the moment, that he's blinded to the fact that there's actually 2 cups still standing behind him. So note that, just keep going. You're doing great. Continue doing what you're doing as long as it is serving you. And another thing, as I said, to get to that, another one that came out was the Six of Wands. Now the Six of Wands represents victory. So with this juggling act and you feeling a bit like it's probably not going the way that you want it to, could be sort of pushing it away. So relax a little bit. Know that the universe they have things in, and this is showing me that they, you know, just keep your strength, because it's coming. It's coming. Then we have the Fool, another major card. The Fool usually can represent a few different things. Can represent the sort of naivety of child. Could be if you are planning a family and you are feeling a bit down that your family has not yet started. The Fool could represent a child. The Fool also represents sort of walking into the unknown, taking a risk and going for it. So the Fool can be a little bit naive in the fact that his head's in the clouds and he's about to walk off a cliff sort of thing. But the Fool is also, he's purity sort of at the heart of it. The Fool I see as a very sort of childish figure, but not in a bad way, more of a beautiful child-like innocence. So it could represent that in this spread, if that is what you're after. I would love to know if this is if this spread has resonated with you. But the overall feeling I am getting does sort of have to do with the family and the balancing of, and maybe sort of not feeling that things are going your way, whether that be that you may not have produced a family yet, or to the timeline that you want one, or you may be trying and it's not happening for you just yet. So you may be going through trials and tribulations and everything, whether that be medically with pregnancy, and it's just keeping you to keep up your strength. And you know, you are sowing the seeds for the future that you are looking for and the future that you want. So it is there, it is within reach. And so just to keep your eyes open, keep your eyes on the prize, and don't stress too much about it, otherwise you're going to sort of push it away by doing so. So group 1, pile 1, is there anything else? Beautiful card. So you have the World card. The World card, worldly possessions. You've got your... I feel like that's, you know, that what you're after at the moment is your whole world. At the moment, it is sort of consuming you in a way, in the fact that you need to sort of just relax, take a breath. You're looking to the future, which is fantastic, but don't look to the future with blind eyes. Don't look to the future thinking it's not going the way I want it to. Look to the future with positivity. I mean, look at this. It's there. It's waiting. So group 1, is there anything else, spirits, for group 1 moving forward with what they have coming up in their path? Maybe if we have a few last cards to indicate how they will go. So the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords represents an ending. So I was thinking as I was shuffling the cards, I was actually thinking if there is anything else sort of to end, you know, after this, after you have got yourself, you know, at a good balance and everything, and sort of calm down a bit with the wanting so much and more of having. And then it's come up with the Ten of Swords, which can represent an ending to a cycle, an ending to this train of thought where you're feeling at a lack of or loss of or blinded to. And then the next card that came out was the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles is a very good card, especially when you have the World, you have the Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, the World, the Ace of Wands. The Ten of Pentacles represents harmony, balance, family, materialistic gain and comfort. So you're comfortable in life, you're comfortable where you're at, you've got abundance, prosperity. It's just when you see your deck over here compared to down here, this is what it's going to take to get out of this headspace. So just know when you have cards like this coming up that are just showing you that this is what you have coming, as long as you can keep the balance, moderation, as well as making sure that you do not lack that self-awareness to know when you need to slow down. Have the strength to say, I'm tired, I need a break from thinking about this. And you know, you sort of let go of some of these things, and it is amazing how quickly you see this come into fruition. I am going to do a chakra card for you, see whether there is anything that you can do for yourself and that may be beneficial for the headspace that you might be in at the moment, or something beneficial that may help with the sort of balancing out of home, relationships, work, everything like that, to be able to get your glory here. But I still do have the feeling, it may not be relatable to you all, but I still do have the feeling that it is to do with just balancing out that work, relationship, home life, making sure that you have your time and stop thinking negatively, because you do have all of this coming, whether it be in a career or whether it be in family, starting a family. There's no need to rush it. Just have strength and hang in there, because it's coming. So for group 1, throat chakra, is there anything that can help them along, anything that can help them on their journey into the prosperity that we see laid out in front of us here? Please and thank you. Thank you. Is there anything that can help at this time? Okay, so I don't even need to lay that out because it just jumped out right in front of you. Balance. And we're going to next to this guy, which basically represents the exact same thing. He even has the yin and yang there, and he has the infinity sign of balance. So pretty self-explanatory balance, as I was saying before. It's just a matter of sort of, but don't do it in such a headspace that you feel like that you have to do everything. Make sure that you take that time for yourself. Make sure that you have that balance in your life to be able to get to abundance. So drawing these two cards today represents to me that they've pretty much spirits have pretty much answered sort of the two questions in the one go. They could have just drawn these two cards right at the beginning and it would have sort of made sense, because they are saying as long as you keep the balance between homework, everything that we have to do there, then you will receive the abundance. The abundance is there waiting for you. So that's fantastic. As I said, it could have drawn those two right from the get-go. The chakra cards that these both represents, the balance and abundance, are both the root chakra. So some grounding meditation work could also be fantastic, could be fantastic for your emotional and mental health as well, because that also helps us balancing our emotions, when we've had a full-on day and everything, to just sort of lay in bed at the end of the day and doing a grounding meditation, just get you back down with the earth and spirit. It's just so exhilarating, and it is just really refreshing, and you can wake up in the morning just feeling refreshed and ready to sort of continue on doing your balancing act until you get your abundance and what it is that you're after. So fantastic spread for you guys. As I said, we all have it in our lives, a bit of the hardship and everything like that, but you do have the strength to get through it. You are sowing the seeds for all your worldly desires, your abundance, your 10 of cups, your community, your family, your materialistic items, an abundance and feeling of security, a large feeling of security there. So it is definitely at your feet and there and waiting. Just keep doing what you're doing, because you guys are doing an awesome job. So I hope this helped, and thank you so much for listening. Bye. Hi Group 2, welcome to your reading. So your reading today is based on what's next. What does the future hold? What sorts of things may be blocking you from being able to sort of achieve what it is you want to achieve? And so what your current path is at the moment, and what's next in our path. So you have chosen the heart chakra stone. Beautiful green stone. You can probably tell I like green. So we will pull some cards for you now and we'll see how we go. So for pile 2, the heart chakra, straight up the Empress. Anything, what sort of path are they on at the moment? What's coming to them? And what sort of blockages do they have at the moment? Sorry guys, my shuffling is very messy and cards are flying all over the place, so just need to pick them up. So we've had a music malfunction, but anyway, we have the Emperor, the King of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Now, the Emperor and the King of Swords are very similar in the fact that they are two very strong, independent, like-minded people who are very assertive, not really in touch with their emotions, more very direct, stern in a way as well. So I don't know whether this is you or whether this may be someone around you, but the Ace of Cups actually suggests a abundance of love and something coming towards you, and emotions, and getting in touch with your emotional sides. And the Page of Wands as well, he is far from the King of Swords or the Emperor. He is also a very creative person who he does show his emotions, and he's in touch with his I suppose feminine side or emotional side and everything as a man. So he's a lot softer than the King of Swords or the Emperor. So at this stage in the spread, I'm wondering whether this could represent sort of you and your mindset at the moment, where you may be very assertive and like strong, or I can do this on my own, I'm fine, and it's sort of like you have this abundance of love and intimacy and everything that's coming towards you, but in order to sort of receive that at its full potential, you might have to sort of get in touch with your feelings a bit more, lighten up basically. These are very noble type of guys, and it's sort of that's a great trait to have in certain situations, but then in some situations you really need to sort of open up your heart, open up the emotional side of things, and sort of get in touch with that in order for you to love yourself and others. So there's that representation there that I'm feeling at the moment, but these two are very, very similar people. So whether it may be indicating towards you sort of having that mindset at the moment, the very strong, assertive, managerial type mindset, and then maybe there's a person of interest or someone that may be coming towards you that sort of may change your perspective on a few things and just sort of soften you up a little bit, which is not a bad thing. Whether you're male or female, we need a good balance of both in our lives, because it can really just cause a lot of strain for not only yourself and anxiety and everything for yourself if you're constantly sort of having to be like these guys, but also the people around you. No one wants to sort of hang out with the grumpy butt of the party, so lighten up a bit. We'll see how we go anyway. So is there any more for the path in which the pole 2 heart chakra, any obstacles or they may be facing, or any changes that they may need to make, and what's sort of coming towards them, please and thank you. Okay, so the Five of Pentacles can normally represent sort of a blindness or lack of, that you may be having this feeling of lack of something, whether it be intimacy and love at the moment, and you're sort of feeling like that you have to act like this maybe around your current lover, or even family and friends and other people, and just sort of like having to act like this, but really deep down I don't feel like that you sort of want to be like that all the time. I do think that deep down that you have got the Page of Wands in you, and it's a matter of sort of letting that out and becoming a little bit vulnerable as well, because the Page of Wands, because he does show his emotions, he does open up his heart, he is obviously a lot more vulnerable than the Emperor or King of Swords, because they kind of keep their cards close to their chest. So pile to the heart chakra, keep the cards close to their chest, and you've got the heart chakra, but no pun intended. Pile to what else? What other signs or any messages or anything do we have for them for their future? Please and thank you. Oh. We've got quite a few there. Okay. So the first one that came out was the Empress, so you have the Emperor and the Empress. The Two of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, Two of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles. So the Empress, again, the partner of the Emperor. The Empress is very much sort of a bit like the Ace of Cups. She is very in touch with her feminine side. She is very sexual, and she is very much sort of like the Emperor in the woman form. She knows what she wants. So I have a feeling that this is more probably speaking to you guys than someone that you may know. I feel like that this is sort of, you can be quite stern, direct, straight to the point. You know what you want, and you're gonna you're gonna get out there and get it. You have this view on the world. The Two of Wands can usually represent travel. You may travel a lot in your work, or you may want to travel, and that's sort of one of your key sort of things that you want to do in the future, is a lot of traveling, and that's sort of something that you're not going to give up on. You say, I want to do this, because I feel like that's sort of how you may come across to others. Not like, as I said, not that that's a bad thing, but that you are very direct, and you are a noble type of person. You tell it how it is. You're very, I want this. This is how it's gonna go. Sort of my way or the highway sometimes. And you do have the Wheel of Fortune there, which is fantastic. So you could be very successful because of having this type of attitude towards life. If you have the confidence and the ability to be very direct in what it is that you want and your needs and everything, then you may already possess sort of the worldly possessions that you have wanted, that you've received through your career or something, because you're probably at a stage where you've taken no ball. So you have no, if there's something that you don't like in a workplace or something like that, then you will either get it changed or you will move on to the next one. So I feel like that you may already sort of have the Wheel of Fortune. If not, then it is a card that's come up. And the Four of Pentacles, again, I have a feeling that with the Four of Pentacles, he's sort of, he's sitting pretty, he's comfortable with his sort of material possessions and things like that. So I feel like that he is sort of quite fine at the moment. But the Two of Pentacles also represents balancing, whether that's you sort of maybe needing to balance your strong personality a little bit more and getting in touch with your emotional side. As I said, the Empress and the Emperor are very similar in their partnership, that they know what they want, they're very stern, but the Empress is also a very feminine lady. She knows, everything there is to know when it comes to sort of divine femininity. We got the Ace of Cups, again, has to do with sensuality, sexuality, abundance of love sort of coming towards you and things like that. So I feel like whether you're a part of a relationship and yes, you are sitting pretty, you have the materialistic items, and you may be well traveled, you may want to travel or be able to provide that for your partner if this is for you, that you may not be balancing your emotional side enough for your partner, or it could be the other way around. It could be that your partner is this sort of very stern, headstrong person, and you may be feeling that a bit of lack of balance when it comes to sort of the relationship dynamics. I'll get a little bit of clarity for you. is a very nice spread though. It does look very successful. So if you haven't already if you're not already on this path of, finding this person of interest and your wheel of fortune and sitting quite humble sort of money wise and everything, having your future sort of, what you want, then it is coming. But it is a matter of also balancing, which we had in group one. Group one actually got 2 balancing cards. So it'll be interesting to see if you get that at the end. But theirs was a lot around balancing as well. Their emotion and stuff. But I feel like the emotion in this group is a lot stronger. Either yourself or a partner you may be with or someone you know is a very headstrong, sort of straightforward type of person. And it can be a little bit dominating at times. So you just need to make sure that you balance that out with something else. Okay, so again, we've got the Queen of Swords. Wow, you got the Emperor, the Empress, the King of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. And as I said, they are counterparts to each other. So the Queen of Swords is very much like the King of Swords, but she represents the feminine side, the very stern feminine side, the motherly figure, the woman. She knows what she wants and she gets it. And so that is amazing. You've got 2 couples here that are both very, very headstrong, very, very stern, know what they want. So this could even be yourself and your partner, male, female, whichever it is. It could just represent that as a couple, you both may be very headstrong people, and there's the love is there. You have a beautiful life and everything together, but maybe balancing it out a bit more will probably do you some good. We do have though, sorry, I'm not gonna start with that one actually. I'm gonna start with the Hermit. So the Hermit is very sort of like a guiding light. He's the internal soul, so sort of like looking within and everything at what it is you truly want and desire. All of these cards are very strong in the fact that I think that, as I said, either yourself and your partner or just your partner are very direct. You know what you're doing and you know what you want and how you're going to get it, and you want these fortune and prosperity and everything. But I feel like without the balance, you may, and without sort of coming down a little bit, not off your high horse, but just showing the world a little bit more emotion and everything when it comes to things, that you could start to get a little bit on the wrong path. You could sort of start to lose your way a bit. And so the Hermit is very, talks about sort of like taking the time to sort of find your internal light and leading the way. The Hermit is quite successful though. I mean, you got, as I said, you got the Wheel of Fortune, 9 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, huge one to do with love and everything. The fact that we have 2 couples here, it could be that you may be finding, if you're not already with the person that is very headstrong like yourself, you maybe end up coming across a person like that. And this may challenge you a little bit, I think. It may sort of go, they're okay. But I think that this spread does talk again just about balance and sort of getting that little bit of element of Page of Wands in there. But other than that, this attitude not attitude, but the personality you have, the very straightforward, direct, you know yourself, you know what it is you want, you are very straightforward in your thinking, has, obviously, if it hasn't already, it's brought you some quite sort of successful abundance, which I've laid out in the bottom row. But again, in the top row, just sort of keeping that balance, and when it's needed, showing that emotional side of yourself so that you don't lose your way. And, the Hermit's sort of lighting a bit of the way for you. I'm going to see if there's, is there anything else for group 2? Heart chakra, please. And thank you, Spirit Guides. Any blockages, or what else can you tell me? Again, you have a lot of pentacles and cups going on here, so it's a very... Okay, so I feel like that the Two of Cups is, is that if you haven't already, if you're not already with this person, you're going to meet someone who is very, very similar to you. And so that's probably where the balancing comes in, is so you're going to have to balance each other out. And if you're both very headstrong and both very stern and both know what it is you want, when it comes to disagreements, it can get a little bit messy. So you have two very stern, headstrong couples up here. You've got the Ace of Cups, which represents maybe a new love or a new relationship coming into fruition. And then you have the Two of Cups, which also represents not as strong as the lovers, but someone of that you meet that is also very headstrong. Now, this could not even be a relationship. This could even be a business partnership or someone that you work with. I don't feel like in this spread that there's too many clashes. If anything, the partnership seems to be working well as long as you have that balance. Maybe someone having to give in when they need to, because you seem to be getting quite a few of the very prosperous cards and everything there. So all I can say with this one is, if you haven't already met this person, you may be meeting them very soon. I feel like that the person you're going to meet, or whether you are this person, or whether I don't feel like it's that you need to become this person, but you're both very headstrong. You know what you want. You're very you've got this sort of thing, and you do, and you can see by your successes or your future successes that you've got this. So if you haven't met this person already, you may be meeting them soon. Just keep in mind that they are very, very much like you, that they have very, very similar views in regards to their firmness, their straightforwardness and everything, which sometimes when we meet someone so much like ourselves, it can actually be a bit daunting. So just make sure that you keep that balance and harmony between you two, because together you seem to be quite successful as a couple. All right, so is there anything else for group 2? Heart chakra card, Spirit Guides, please, and thank you. I'm pulling a chakra card for you now. See if there's anything that's going to help you. In the future, with your near future endeavours or anything like that. Not that it looks like you need any help. You're quite prosperous in what is coming up or what you've already achieved. So, anything else for group 2, please, and thank you. Okay. Right, so we've got play, grounding, and angels and masters. Okay, so it could be, excuse me, sorry, just stuck my head in the thing. It could be that once you meet this person, a part of the balancing as well, because the Page of Wands is quite a playful character too. It's a balance of, you know, having that playful aspect. If this is a new person coming into your life that you've just met, as stern and headstrong as you both are, any relationship when it first begins sort of needs that playful aspect to sort of thrive and prosper. The grounding as well, there may be situations where you do have to come back down off your high horse, or they need to come back down off their high horse a little bit and really ground themselves and sort of like maybe not be so headstrong in every situation. Pick your battles, because I feel like that you could both be very feeling of you're right sort of the whole time, which I would normally think would cause sort of conflict in such a strong relationship. But it does feel like a really strong relationship. But it also feels like that your relationship might actually be that strong that I'm not seeing a lot of conflict. I'm seeing a lot of prosperity and everything there. It's probably just a matter of balancing, you know, grounding yourself every now and then and making sure that you still have that playful aspect. As headstrong as you both are, that you still have that, you know, playful aspect of your relationship. And angels and masters there to help you. So it could even be I don't feel as though, I feel like that you may be very busy in your life to gain the things that you do gain, that, you know, you're not one to sort of really do meditation like really overly too much, or, you know, really sort of like, or even have the time sort of in the day to do that. And so it could even be that sort of like your two personalities together could even be like descended angels and masters. Like, I'm not 100% on that card, but it's a pretty strong card to come up. And I just feel like I've got a big grin on my face, because I just feel like you guys, if you haven't met already, you're gonna know as soon as you meet this person, because they are like, they're your twin, except in a different form. Like, you'll click, but at the same time you may conflict, but that's what keeps you guys going. That is your relationship, is like that you are both headstrong and you both love it, and, you know, just keep that grounding and that playfulness and the balance and everything, and you just have a fantastic relationship and stuff if you don't already. So I'd love to hear in the comment section below whether this resonated with you or not, whether you may currently be in a relationship like this, whether you are the headstrong person, or your partner is, or, you know, you haven't met that person yet, but you feel like that it may resonate with you. I wish you all the best. Not that I don't think that you need it. I always wish you all the best, but don't think you need it, because you've already achieved quite a fair bit, or you're going to sort of without any sort of need for any help from anyone else, because you got this. So good job, guys. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you soon. Hi group 3, so you have chosen the crown chakra stone. Again, today our question is, what lies ahead in the future, and what sort of obstacles or anything like that you may encounter within the near future, opportunities, family, marriages, things like that. So we'll have a look at your cards right now. So spirit cards for group 3. So anything you can tell us in regards to their path ahead, please and thank you. Ooh. Group 3. Spirit guides us to their path ahead. Marriages, family, pregnancies, career opportunities, illnesses, anything that might be going on for group number 3. Please and thank you. Alright, so we had a couple of cards come out here. So we've got the 7 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, and the Fool. And I might just draw a couple more. Oh, there we go. So for group 3. Ooh. Ooh. Now they're just flying out. Also going all over the floor. That is enough for now. Okay. So the first one we had was the 7 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, and the Fool. I think we had the Knight of Wands, the Star, the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Tower card. So these 7 of Pentacles can usually represent a matter of stepping back and looking at what you have achieved. You may be feeling at the moment with the 4 of Cups, I think you feel like a little bit unappreciated. You're sort of withdrawing a bit from something. And the 7 of Pentacles is that you need to sort of take stock from what you have mastered and what you do have under your control at the moment. And sort of the Fool and Knight of Wands are very similar in the fact that they're a bit sort of, they can be a bit sort of naive. The Knight of Wands can just sort of go into things without sort of thinking too much about it. It can be a little bit unreliable. I don't know whether this is yourself or someone around you, but the Star represents a sort of a dream come true or a wish come true. And then the King of Queen of Cups are both they're very stable. They know themselves, they're prosperous, they live in harmony with their riches, and they are very not all over the place sort of thing. But then we have the Tower card, which can represent an upheaval, or it could represent a completely new direction, or a whole lot going on in order for you to go from a completely different direction. So I feel like at this stage is that you have a wish of some sort to get you out of this sort of space where you may not be in the right mindset to be able to help others, because at first you need to help yourself, and something happens. It looks like that sort of does get you to that stage and your wish is fulfilled, but I don't feel like that it will just happen, because as I said, the Knight of Wands, he can be quite sort of a bit unreliable and, you know, flighty-dighty. The Fool is a bit sort of, you know, who really cares? And, you know, this guy here with his arms crossed, 4 of Cups, just really feeling sorry for himself. I think it's a matter of, as I said, looking at what you have got and what you have done, and sort of taking away this victim mentality and just thinking that it's all going to resolve itself. I'm going to grab you a few more cards. So the Knight of Wands can be a little bit sort of immature as well. The Fool has that aspect to him just in regards to his sort of innocence. I just picked up the Death card and the High Priestess. The High Priestess is very spiritual. She can see right through people. We've got the moon symbol down here, which usually represents sort of like if you're trying to keep a secret or something like that. You know, the High Priestess represents someone who is sort of very in touch with her spiritual side, and she can sort of see in personalities and everything if someone may be sort of having a go with something that they're saying. So with the Tower card and then the Queen and King of Cups, we also have afterwards the Death card and then the Ace of Wands and Wheel of Fortune. So it's quite a mixture at the moment, and I'm feeling a bit sort of not 100% sure where to go with it, because you have the Ace of Wands, very prosperous card. You know, you are holding the one, you are sort of in control and everything of your power. The Wheel of Fortune, obviously very prosperous. The Star is a major arcana, and so that is all about your dreams coming true and wishes and things like that. As I said, the King and Queen of Cups, very, very humble, prosperous people. High Priestess is someone who knows herself spiritually. She can see through anyone, and she is very in touch with herself. There's a massive, I can see, just give me a second, I think, all right, so what I'm feeling is this change that happens, or this death, is almost of self, like it's a coming of age. Like you are going from you know, someone who wants pity taken on them, and this childish sort of naive fool and maybe immature, sort of a little bit irresponsible sort of Knight of Wands character, and something happens, whether it could be even some sort of spiritual enlightenment, because the High Priestess is massively represents soul journey, and she is really, as I said, in touch with her psychic spiritual side. So this transformation and death could be of old self. You could be going through massive changes right now. You could be going through a whole maturity change in respect to your personality, and this, you know, the Fool and Knight of Wands, these young men, don't have to be a man, woman, whichever, but the young men in the cards represent this sort of innocence and naiveness and little bit of lack of maturity. And then after the Death and the Tower card, after, you know, your dreams have come true, whether that be in a career or you may be becoming a parent for the first time and you have to grow up, but there seems to be this, like, you then go to these noble people, the High Priestess, the King and Queen of Cups, the Ace of Wands. They're noble and mature and just fruitful in their what they have. And as I said, you've got the Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Wands there. So it is really just giving me a bit of a sense of coming of maturity, or even with a High Priestess, like a spiritual awakening. You are finding your maturity and everything. I keep saying that. I need to draw more cards. But that's the feeling that I'm getting at the moment. So what else can you tell us for pile 3, please and thank you, Spirit Guides? Pile 3 is this spiritual awakening, or what may this have to do with career, family, new relationship? What are we looking at here for pile 3, please and thank you, Spirit Guides? Okay, so a bit of a mixture again. We've got the Queen of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. So the swords usually represent almost like a learning. The Six of Swords represents moving out of troubled waters. So that Six of Swords is sort of, again, like the Death card and the Tower card. You are moving forward in whatever it is that you're doing. The Knight of Swords, again, is very similar to the Knight of Wands. He's immature in the sense that he may sort of goes bounding headfirst into something, maybe without thinking about it. Queen of Swords, she is very directional. She knows how to get things done. She can be quite stern and stubborn. She knows what she wants. She knows how to get it done. And she sort of directs, helps direct people as well. The fact that you had the Three of Pentacles come out with the Queen of Swords could indicate to me that, because the Three of Pentacles is usually sort of teamwork and to do with working together. The Queen of Swords is almost sort of the opposite to teamwork. She's usually the one who is directing people in what it is that they need to do, and sort of telling the team members or whichever what it is they need to do. So there's definitely a change going on here. And I'm just thinking whether it may be I don't know if it has to do with career. Could just be life in general, but the Queen of Swords could also represent someone coming into your life where they are basically sort of not forcing you to go through this change, but they're a big influence on you going through this change. This could be in a relationship aspect. You could meet someone who is very assured of themselves and knows what it is they want, and they may try and sort of heavily mature you quite quickly and sort of force this change on you to mature quickly and be a lot more successful in your endeavors as well. I'll grab a few more. Are there anything else for group 3, please and thank you, Spirit Guides? Anything else from group 3? A bit of clarification, please and thank you. So the Six of Wands is a victory card. Okay, so I'm just trying to sort of feel the cards here. I'm I'm actually, which I'm just going to go with my gut and I'm going to say it, but I'm now sort of thinking in this different direction. This young, naive person, sorry, I keep saying naive, it's just sort of that young, immature typed attitude, or it could be, you haven't found what it is you're looking for yet, or, you're still young at heart and sort of that, don't need to worry about those things yet attitude. But then with the Star card and the Victory card and this moving away from trouble, death of your old self, the Tower of something major happening, and these noblemen that are so noble, and the Ace of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like that there could even be an event that happens that could be quite prosperous and fruitful for you, whether that be a new job, a person you meet that might, be very well with their materialistic items, that may want to give you the world in a relationship, and happy to sort of meet your needs and everything like that. It could be coming into some sort of inheritance or fortune type thing. I only say that because I see this, these guys, especially the one you started with, the Seven of Pentacles. He is very much a hard worker, and he's in his, village people clothes and everything like that, and just all over the place here. And then they are just noble, very well dressed, well-known people. It could even be something that happens where a wish is fulfilled in regards to being recognized as a higher sort of character, like a Victory and Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Wands sort of is, I'm surprised you don't have the World card, because that's sort of what it feels like, that you're going from not much and a little bit of lack of to quite a really good stage in your life. What I'm not working out just yet is how that transition happens. So at this stage, I can't tell whether it is through your career, through inheritance, through you, bringing out a song and becoming famous, or anything like that. I just know that this transition is happening, and there are dreams and wishes fulfilled that cause the Tower and the, getting away from troubled waters, and the death of an old self or personality, or death of one cycle of life and the beginning of a very new, very prosperous cycle of life. Dreams fulfilled, fortune, victory, wealth fulfillment and everything as well. I'm going to see if there's any more of the tarot cards for you for group 3, please and thank you. Is there any indication on, with group 3, what causes this major shift in their lives? This positive shift, it does look like a very positive shift in your life. But is there any more indication on what causes this for pile 3, please and thank you. It doesn't want to give me anything. Alright, I'm going to go to an Oracle Angel card deck, and we'll see whether we can get any more information for you. Okay, so as we use the chakra stone, I am going to use my chakra Oracle cards to see whether we can get a little bit more information on what it is that causes this shift. I feel a little sort of disappointed at the moment, because I sort of haven't given you an answer in what causes the shift. I know the question that we asked was sort of what you have coming sort of in the future. And as I said, it does look like that it goes from, you know, quite a, not a negative space, but, you know, just getting by day to day with your work and just sort of not really feeling fulfilled, and that sort of maturity level probably being of a younger intent, to moving away from all of that to very poised, high figures, Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Wands, as I said, very, very prosperous sort of lifestyle. But we're just sort of not sure as to what happens, which it could be a different thing for each of you. Or you may know something that I'm talking about. You may know what it is that's going to cause this, or it may have already been in effect. But as I said, it doesn't seem like it's anything really to be scared of, because this is like all fantastic cards and everything, and these cards represent, it could be hard at the time you're going through it. It could feel like, as the Tower represents, it could feel like that, you know, the whole world's crashing down or something, but the universe always has a plan, and sort of coming out the other end of it, this is sort of what's going on. So just think of that in that situation. We've got chakra cards for pile 3, crown chakra. Give us a little bit more information on that spread, please, and thank you. Information on pile 3 spread, spirit guides, please, and thank you. Anything else that they need to know right now? Like when you say a question, it just pops out. It's like they're answering your question. Balance. I feel like the balance card comes into it after. So it may be at the time that this happens and you are a lot more prosperous. It may be changing career, a pay rise. It's something positive that does get you from a lack of to being very, very harmonious in your materialistic world. But I feel like that the balance does come into it in sort of keeping your head when you reach this stage. So now it's showing us a little bit of after, that once you have reached this really abundant sort of time of your life, that you keep balance, and probably, you know, in your riches and things like that. And it's a matter of making sure that we don't get too egotistical if we reach those sort of times. Oh, sorry. Right. Go the first one, psychic development. Wow. So I do feel like that there is, whatever is involved in your transformation, whether it be through gaining a new career or new pay rise, coming into money, something like that, there is a massive part of the spiritual journey in this. You got the psychic development and the high priestess. So it could be your spiritual awakening that is just taking your, like, this could not necessarily represent your personality, but your mind. And when you start to open yourself up spiritually, with, you know, waking up, basically, your mind is more like these characters here. You are just feeling so much more sure about things that are going on around you, more you're more harmonious in yourself, you're more headstrong, you can make decisions easier. Listening to your spirit guides, you can gain abundance. Wheel of Fortune and the Star and Ace of Wands, you can gain abundance a lot easier because you are able to use the tools and everything for manifestation. And sometimes before we go through that period, it can feel a bit like you're doing the rounds constantly, the everyday life sort of things, and you feel like that there's a lack of something, and you feel like that sometimes you're just going in headstrong and just galloping around everywhere with your head in the clouds, like we all do. But then this happens, or something happens, and it's a massive impact on your spiritual development and everything. So that's a really good thing too. So keep an eye on that. So if you've been feeling like that you want to get into things like meditation and really sort of open up, really cleanse and balance your chakras, and that's the balance card as well. We did use a chakra stone, so the balancing could also be in balancing the chakras. Then definitely get into that, because it will only lead to good things. And as I said, it's just a fantastic thing for your body, mind and spirit, definitely. Only good things. Just dropped it off. There we go. So that was a card that I just dropped on the ground. So we got there eventually. I did ask them to answer, what exactly was the cause of this massive change in yourself or your mindset. And I do believe that these 3 cards represent the happenings, or what's going on, or what's going to happen. Is you opening yourself up spiritually, your soul healing, balancing of chakras, balancing of everyday life things, your psychic development, and that leading to wishes coming true. Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Wands. So I'm really glad that it sort of came out in the end, and I do apologize if I called you immature at the beginning. It wasn't yourselves as your personality. It was the feeling of these. It could have just been sort of an immature mindset, and the soul healing and psychic development, spiritual development, and everything. It's just going to sort of help expand your mind so much more, and really, really create this, your dreams coming true, and your abundance, and that feeling of, everything starting to come together. So for group 3, is there anything in the goddess cards that you need them to know? Spirit guides for group 3, the crown chakra, please and thank you. Oh, that one tried to come out. Anything to help them on their future endeavours and journey. So we have Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. Love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be. So this one can probably relate to when the, moving away from troubled waters, the Tower, the Death card. So no matter what the outward appearance may be, this soul healing that you're doing is only leading you on a right path. There is nothing else there but right path. So I've got some, there we go, I'll just fill out manifestation. So again, this psychic development, balancing your chakras, your soul healing, all of this is going to also bring, as I said before, manifestation of Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Wands, King, Queen of Cups. The High Priestess represents soul development and things like that. So I think that was my just crappy shuffling there. So for group 3, is there anything else that they need to know, spirit guides, for group 3 to help them along? Give us any more indication of what it is. They are ready for this time. Oh, look, I'm going with the first one that came out. Clarity. That's so that's what sorry, I get a little bit excited when sort of it all comes together in my head. Clarity is the perfect word for what I was trying to explain earlier when I was saying that it felt like this type of immature attitude was like a mindset, and then going through this massive change and spiritual healing and development is giving you massive clarity. So it's giving you clarity. It's giving you clarity in work. It's giving you clarity with money issues. It's giving you clarity in the direction you want to go in, and the your wishes of getting things done, your victory in your materialistic world. So thank you, Spirit Guides, for bringing that one out. It's sometimes just one card to sort of bring it all together, and then you understand what the full meaning of it is supposed to be. I'll see whether there is any more cards for you, but I do, again, I'm sorry, it was a bit of a messy one to begin with. I couldn't quite find the direction in where it was going. I did mention a few times at first personality, and then personality change, something happening and then changing your personality to a more mature personality, which I mean still does resonate, because not more mature personality, but you're just gaining, if you're gaining clarity, if you're having your soul healing and manifestation, psychic development, if things are balanced, you're loving yourself and others around you, you're gaining your fortune, having materialistic items in your world that you need, and then really you are maturing. You're maturing as massively maturing as a soul. So that's really good. I'm very pleased that we got it in the end. So anything else for group 3? Crossroads. So again, Crossroads is just another clarification for the Tower, moving away from troubled waters, the Death card. Crossroads is that it could be that it's a particular point in time where you realize that you do need to work on these things to sort of better your headspace and mindset and everything. Could be this reading is your crossroad to go, right, I'm going to start it and get underway with it. But yeah, we can definitely see the crossroad there, because if we take the top row and then we have our turning point here, and then we have our turning point down here, and then you have all this prosperity, and then we're going back up to the middle, and this is how we get there. So that's really good. Is there anything else for group 3? This might be the last card I'll pull for you and see if anything comes out for you. Oh, and there we go. And peace. I think that one was more for me, because I felt very sort of anxious throughout the whole reading, just in the fact that I was a bit frustrated with myself that I wasn't fully understanding the process and how it's sort of come about and exactly what it was in relation to. But I do think that it's also for you guys, in that, you know, you have this story, you have your crossroad, you have all of this prosperity, and this is how you get it, through manifestation, clarity, soul healing, psychic development, balance, and then we end with peace. So I think that is a fantastic spread. I did do a lot more cards than any of the other piles, so you were quite difficult for me today, group 3. But crown chakra, you know, represents the mind and everything as well, and all to do with soul healing and stuff. So definitely you picked a good one. I hope that everything in the future goes fantastic for you. I'd love to hear in the comment section below how everything does work out. And also, if you have started going through this journey, or you start going through it soon and you sort of come back to this reading, if you just sort of like can note down if you know where the crossroad was. So at what point your crossroad came, at what point, you know, you started completely shifting this mindset, or what happened to make you shift your mindset to be able to start heading in this very prosperous, beautiful direction of spiritual and soul healing. I would love to know sort of in the future what goes on there, and if this reading resonated with you. And please give us a thumbs up if it did, and like and subscribe. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye guys.